Hi, this is Brian with The Balanced Dog, and today I want to talk about switching drives, primarily switching from prey drive to pack drive. The way we obtain that is that we have to go through the dog's defense drive, right? And so what does that look like? There has to be some sort of physical interrupter. And what I mean by that, it can be something as simple as like a Lucas Agnew long line, which is basically like a 15-foot slip lead, martingale, a pinch collar, a remote collar, and all of those are going to aid us in going through that dog's defense drive, bringing them out of prey drive back in the pack drive. Now that's all going to be contingent on, the dog's defense drive level, the dog's prey drive level, the dog's pack drive level. You see, that's why it's important that we understand all three of these components when we're evaluating and working with dogs. So let's say my dogs, for instance, when I first moved up here, there's rabbits everywhere, cottontails and jackrabbits, and they were all trained on a remote collar, so they understand it inside and out. So my thing was, okay, do I punish them for chasing the rabbits? I didn't want to do that. You can create other problems. So what ended up being was this: I had to reinforce their recall, because once they went on the chase, I actually had to use the collar to cut through that spike of adrenaline to interrupt the chase, so that was going through their defense drive. So when I tapped the collar and recalled them, I went through their defense drive by tapping that collar, right? If they were on a leash and collar setup, I would have had to check that leash and collar setup and then recall them in. So then both of those are going through that dog's defense drive. It depends. If that dog's a high defense drive dog, he can take more pressure. If it's a very low defense dog, takes a little bit less pressure than the high defense. But then what's the prey drive level like? And what's the pack drive level like? Because if the dog's high in pack drive, generally it's going to be a lot easier to convince that dog to come off the prey and back into it. But if the pack drive's much lower, defense drive's really high, and the prey drive's really high, that's going to be a really, really challenging dog. So this is why just using all food reward-based training, especially when you're trying to bring a dog out of prey drive, it's not really going to be beneficial. You're not going to see great results and lasting results and reliable results. So you can go to YouTube and look up this video. Just put in Fenton, F-E-N-T-O-N, put it in like 3 times, Fenton, 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 and you'll probably find the video I'm referring to of a gentleman in England whose dog Fenton went on chase on a herd of elk, and he's just screaming the dog's name over and over and over again. So that dog was never properly trained to come off of prey drive, right? So my dogs will recall when I call them, but when I first brought them up here and had the rabbits in play, I actually had to go back and use a physical interrupter to get them to come off the rabbits, and now it's not an issue. They can see rabbits 6 feet away and they don't chase them. But if I say, let's go, or if I recall them, they come back to me. But that command was built through a physical interruption, going through their defense drive, bringing them back into pack drive out of prey drive. You see, so the benefits of doing an exercise like that as well, which I do a lot with the dogs, and even just doing let's go and turning the dog to come with me, that's bringing him out of a predatory drive, because if they're out tracking, that's prey drive. Now, they don't stay in pack drive very long, or some dogs might pack up. Again, it just depends on the levels of the drive of that dog. But recall is definitely, like let's go is ... The dog is still free to go out and explore, but recall is the period on the end of the sentence. That dog's got to come in, all the way in. From there, then I can dictate what I want him to do. I can put him into a sit, I can tell him to come to my side, or I can send him back out into prey drive. So the benefits is that you're basically getting more control on your prey drive, you're not suppressing it, and you're also building the pack drive at the same time. So really good exercise to do with any dog, especially a new dog that you get in or a dog you just rescued. Take them out and long line them. And what I'm going to show you in this video that I did about 1.5 years ago will hopefully kind of give you a really good visual on if I'm just using food as a reinforcer, only the only reinforcer, or seeing the difference between going out and switching the dog. And this dog's name is Prince, a Rottweiler, and switching his drive using just a long line. So hope you enjoy it, and I hope it helps, and thanks for watching. All right, so this is Prince, and today what I'm going to do is show you a dog working solely in prey drive, and then show you the difference between switching the dog in prey drive and then switching them in the pack drive. He was initially trained with all food-based rewards, and and again, what you're doing at that point, if that's his sole reinforcement, you're basically keeping that dog in prey drive because there's always food in the picture, and so you create a lot of excitement. And the other thing is that the dog typically sees you as a source of food, and that association when you go to work with the dog is he's already loading in the prey drive because that's his association with that handler. So what we're going to do is I have food here in my jacket, and I haven't used any with him, but I'm going to work him on some stuff that he already knows, and just reward him for everything, right? Sit. Let's go. Let's go. Prince. Sit. Sit. Yep. Sit. Yep. Sit. Butts. 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 So you can see I can't even get my hands on him at this point. Sit. Because I've increased his prey drive, I've increased his excitement level, everything. So what I have is a dog that's working in prey drive. There's no pack drive here, in my opinion. Right? So sit. What I'm going to do is take him out of this session out into the field and show you how we're going to switch the drives and see the difference in them. Let's go. I'm just going to switch the drives on him here on the long line and kind of see the difference in his behavior and his excitement level. But he's a high prey driven dog to begin with, so adding food to the equation to a dog that's already high prey driven, you can see what happens, right? So it's not to say you can't use food, it's about how you use it and how you phase it out, intermittent and all that. I've used it, and you know, and I don't. Most of the time I don't. I got a retrieving bumper in my back pocket, so when I see he's a little bit calmer, and that's going to be part of his reward as well as letting him go back out and track. So he gives me a sit to the side, connects with me. His reward, he likes to track. He likes to smell, he likes to track. That's his drive, that's his highest drive. So I'm allowing that to be fulfilled, but I'm putting some control on it as well. So let's see how we do. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fred. Sit. Sit. Let's go. Let's go. Prince. Oh boy. Sit. Relax. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Prince. Prince. Here. Sit. 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 Get it. Get it. Let's go. Yep. Prince. Prince. Relax. Let's go. Sit. Sit. Yep. 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 Sit. Yep. Yep. Nice. Relax. Go. Prince. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh boy. Let's go. Yep. Sit. Relax. Let's go. Let's go. Prince. Sit. Sit. Get. Good. Go. Well done. Adam. Prince, you're blocking the lens. Come here, buddy. Oh boy. The difference in working him and the two drives or switching the drive. So obviously much more mentally challenging for him. He's much more relaxed. We've drained a lot of that energy because again, he's an extremely high prey-driven dog, as you can see. So that's just my goal with the dog is to keep him in pack drive, and we can determine when we want to send him into prey drive, retrieving, finding the ball, controlled activities where you're capping the drive as well. So we just have some time still with him, so we're gonna get him all dialed in. But other than that, there you have it. He's killing the rye. Let's go, buddy. Let's go.